Today we're gonna make AIP friendly cabbage steaks. My name's Chloe Kelly with Reset You Fitness, and follow along. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get all of our ingredients prepared. All you need is cabbage and then some seasonings of your choice. So today I got rosemary, basil, oregano, thyme, pink Himalayan sea salt, and pepper. And then I have some roasted garlic paste, olive oil, and that's it. After you have your ingredients prepared, you're gonna preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And then get a baking sheet prepared. You can put foil or parchment paper on it, but I'm not gonna use either because I don't think it's necessary, and the cabbage isn't gonna stick to this, so just set that aside. And then make sure your cabbage is washed and prepared before you cut it up. Sometimes it's hard since these are gonna be steaks. We're not gonna be able to really get in there and clean them, but just get a general good enough cleaning. You can also soak this in your sink with a little bit of white vinegar, and that usually does the trick. So a tip for cutting the cabbage is I like to leave the core inside the cabbage, because when you're gonna slice up these steaks, it's gonna keep them together a lot easier than if you were to core the cabbage and then slice up the steaks. It's harder to keep them pretty. So when you cut these, make sure you do about 1 inch thick. You don't want to do much thicker because it's going to take way too long to cook in the oven and you're going to get really bored. Also, get a nice sharp knife. This is my pretty knife that I got for Christmas. And go ahead and cut them up. And try and keep them in their little steaks when you're cutting them up. So I'm just going to set these aside. And then be careful when you get to the butt of this because it's kind of hard. So I just like to flip it around. After you have your steaks cut up, go ahead and line them on a baking sheet. Also, if this is way too big and you don't want to eat a cabbage steak that's this big, just cut them in half. But I think they look pretty this way, so we're gonna go with it and we're gonna keep them. So go ahead and put them flat. You don't want them overlapping. And this is the butt, so you don't have to, you can use the butt, but I'm not gonna use it. Okay, so after you have them on your pan, you can move your cutting board out of the way, and we're gonna mix up some olive oil, or you can use avocado oil. Make sure you're not using vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil. Those are bad. Do not use any of those. And then let's put some of that garlic paste in there. And you can never have too much garlic, so just do whatever your heart feels like. You can also add other things to this mixture, but I'm just gonna do garlic and olive oil. Then let's stir that up. And we're gonna spread this evenly over the cabbage steaks before we season them. And we're gonna do the top and the bottom of the steaks. So make sure you have a generous amount and don't spill it all over your counter. Okay, so go ahead and brush the cabbage steaks with that mixture. I really like garlic, and so does my boyfriend when I eat it. I'm making a complete mess. And you're really gonna wanna put a good amount on there because it's gonna help them get more toasty in the oven. And we're gonna season these first, then we're gonna flip them over and do the whole thing again. So again, I have some thyme, oregano, basil, and rosemary. I really like Trader Joe's seasonings, but I think I like everything from Trader Joe's. And I'm out of oregano. And then don't forget salt and pepper. This recipe is also AIP friendly, and if you've gone through our Reset You protocol, you'll know if cabbage is an inflammatory food for you. It's not an inflammatory food for me, so that's why I like to make this recipe. Some signs of something being inflammatory is if it upsets your stomach, if it throws off your bowel movements, if you have bad skin, like sometimes acne. That can be caused by the things you eat. So even if you eat it and you think you're feeling okay, you can have reactions like with your skin. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the olive oil and garlic on this side of the steaks. This recipe, they're best right out of the oven. If you're gonna save these and reheat them later, you're gonna wanna broil them or maybe even get them in a hot pan, because just reheating them like in the microwave, they're gonna be kind of yucky. So this is more of eat it while it's fresh. Okay, now we're gonna do the spices again, and then they're gonna be ready to put in the oven. So we're gonna wanna put them in the oven for 20 minutes on each side, so a total of 40 minutes. And last, salt and pepper. Okay, now put them in the oven for 20 minutes. So our cabbage steaks have been in here about 20 more minutes, and they're starting to crisp up on the sides. They look super good, so we're gonna take them out. Don't burn yourself. Look at how beautiful they look, first of all. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and plate. I'm kind of having a hard time choosing which one I want to eat. I think we'll do this one. I like to enjoy these cabbage steaks just plain, or even with some balsamic vinaigrette and olive oil over it. They're delicious and really easy on the belly if you know that you are okay with cabbage. If you've done our Reset You protocol, you'll know what foods are inflammatory to your belly and what foods are not. This one is okay for me, so I really enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and comment below something that you want to see me cook or something you need help cooking.